Second of all, you should fence Carden Park. I still say that. If everybody remembers, it was my idea to do something in Carden Park initially, and I thought it was commercial. I don't think that there should be houses built that are in fee. If you want to build rental apartments, that's another thing. But you know, you have to look at it from this fact that the borough would gain money from selling Carden Park and not lose money. The only reason they're losing money is because you have people against it. I mean, you know, so, and I can make that argument, I guess, for the lights too, but I mean, you're not going to gain any money with the lights because it's a non-profit entity, non-taxable entity.
I wasn't going to stand up either, but after Mr. Cassidy got up, I think that it's a wise thing to do. He talked about the park being a gain. That we would gain money for the borough. And I think that you have to look at what gain really is and what loss really is. And it's more than just money, because you have a lot of intrinsic value in the borough. Kerr Park. How much is Kerr Park worth? Are you going to put a dollar sign on it? No, because it's worth so much more to the people. How much is a log house worth? How much would you sell it for? It's in the intrinsic value. It's the value to the people. Carden Park is very valuable to the people, and we know that, and we've heard that from petitions, from people coming in and speaking. Over the years, the majority of people who have spoken in favor of keeping the park. We've had a minority that has spoken about the tax benefits and all that, and many of those are business people, and they would gain from it financially. So I think, you know, what is our job? As council, your job is to represent the people. Your job is not to say, people don't know what they want, they're stupid, but we know what's best for them. Selling their park is what's best for them. It's not our job. Our job is to represent what the people want. And if the people don't say what they want, then council makes up the best decision that they can. But when the people are clear, and when the people speak to us, to council, it's council's obligation to listen and to act on their behalf. So then Mr. Cassidy said that the borough is only losing money because of opposition. And that's not true, because actually there was a little bit of money that everybody had to spend on the court battles, and the park won in 2010. Judge Platt of Orphansport ruled that the park is a park and cannot be sold. So tell me, from then on, who was wasting the money? Who appealed? Who's been fighting? It's been council. It's been council, and it's been the developer. And it's unfortunate that the council, and I don't know if it was 2010 or 11 agreement of sale, that council entered into an agreement of sale that locked them in. Because they're now locked in to have to continue with these appeals until it comes to a satisfactory conclusion, or the developer lets you off the hook. Locked in. Right? I don't know if that's really legal to do that, but that's what the agreement of sale says. So council is now basically representing a developer. You're no longer able to represent the people because you've lost yourself in. So you're losing money just because of the opposition, not true. And the money that was spent on Carden Park prior to before the people came and said what they wanted. And if you recall, when the people did speak out first, it was they only wanted to lower the density. The citizens didn't even say, hey, don't develop the park. They just said lower the density. And council, it wasn't none of you except one, wouldn't listen, would not listen. They were rude to the citizens, wouldn't even consider what the citizens had to say, nothing. So it's snowballed into this. But even at that point, during testimony, the original time in front of Judge Platt, our manager, Steve Sullen, said that the borough had already spent tens of thousands of dollars over the years in efforts to develop Carden Park. That's before you ever entered a sales agreement. That's before anybody ever opposed anything. The borough has already spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to develop it. And you didn't have permission. It wasn't legal. So to stand there and say that, oh, I'm costing the borough so much, Friends of Carden Park is costing the borough so much money. Wrong. Wrong. The borough, through poor decision making, has cost a lot of money. And what the money that's being spent now, my efforts, Friends of Carter Park efforts, the different supporters' efforts, are on behalf of the people. And that's what council is supposed to be doing. You shouldn't have to have private citizens getting up here and going to court and fighting for something that belongs to them. Right? The part about staying on the trail, what a joke. What a joke. Those signs went up after the borough lost in court. Those signs were never there before. In fact, in the early 90s, Mayor Madero said that the park was perfectly safe. Perfectly safe to be on. It wasn't bad at all. And then the Golder report, well, he was an environmental guy, came along and confirmed it, that the entire park is safe. DEP said, yep, the whole park is safe. All 50 acres. It's all safe to use as a passive recreation park. The borough went to them and said, hey, you know what, we want to develop this one little part as commercial, which Mayor Cassidy had alluded to. So the guy went back and looked and said, okay, this little part you can develop as commercial. So the whole park is okay to use the park, and this little part could also be used as commercial if Borough Council chose to do that. That's the story there. The signs went up after the borough lost. They did not go up to protect the people. They went up as part of strategy, a legal strategy. I think no one has to stay on the trail. I will say one more thing, which is that even in the original testimony, even the developer's environmental expert stood here and said, under testimony, that the park was safe to use in its current condition as a passive park, and he had even taken his children there. He has since changed that. No new documentation, no new data has come through, nothing. He has changed it now, and now he is just right on board with the developer, saying, yeah, stay on the trail. That's very interesting to me. That was after the borough lost, and after the developer lost. Prior to that, the park was safe. Once the borough lost, the park is dangerous, stay on the trail, it has to be built because you can't do anything else with it, and I will go on to say that the borough has also stopped maintaining it. And now the park is really not very usable by the public like it used to be, and it's very sad. So I ask you to look at value. What is value? It's more than money. I ask you to look at representing the people. And I ask you to look at that ordinance that is coming, or resolution, 2015-01, to really consider that, and as far as the borough's involvement, and how much more we want to take on in defiance of the people.
Thank you. Anyone else?